Hello United fans, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for subscribing and for following us and for watching. There's a lot to talk about. The weekend is back. We're back to Premier League, especially after a very tough game in the midweek in which there was a lot of reactions. We're going to discuss that. But there has also been talks in the club. Sancho coming out to talk about the impact of Cristiano. Cristiano also talking about how long he wants to play. Ragnick coming in the press conference talking about the impact of Elanga and the need for the likes of Rashford to improve. So there's a lot to talk about. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe, like our videos, hit the bell. That will make sure that you don't miss any single video. Now let's get into it. First, let me talk about the Atletico Man United midweek game, the Champions League. Of course, we got a very good result, a 1-1 draw, but this game had a mix of reactions. I believe the first half was the worst games I've ever watched Man United play. We completely played with fear, no aggression. Everybody was losing the ball, and at one point it worried me because I was like, is this really Man United? In as much as we are playing a very good Atletico side, they are equally been struggling and they've been shipping goals. So it's very unfortunate that we went there and played it the way we played in the first half, which was completely not acceptable. At this level of the Champions League, you can't go to play such a game like that. That is not acceptable. But of course, we came out a little bit aggressive in the second half, and we were able to get a goal through Elanga. And remember, Elanga is one of the players that have really been criticized, especially after the Middlesbrough game where he lost the penalty and we were knocked out. But this boy, he reminds me when Rashford came into the picture, after the injuries, and Van Gaal handed him a start, scored 2 goals in the Europa. After that, scored against Arsenal, again scored against Man Utd. And I think Elanga is at that stage where he plays without fear. He just wants to be in the team. He wants to be part of what is happening. And I wish many of the young players, as Ragnick was saying, and maybe even the senior players could copy what was happening. But Atletico game was a game of 2 halves. First half completely poor, second half much better. But of course, you could see from the game why we need a CDM. And even when Matic came in, the game completely changed. He was able to hold the ball, to drive the ball, to give a key pass, something that both Pogba and Fred were not able to do in the first half in the midfield. And Bruno, in fact, was completely out of the game, in the first half completely. Second half, he tried, and he provided an assist. But I think United should be playing much better than that. So it was a tough game, but the result was good. A 1-1 draw against Atletico away was a good result, and we wait for them at Old Trafford. I think that's where the game is going to be won. Talking of that, this week, there was a time when people were discussing, Cristiano Ronaldo is the problem in this team. Others are saying, it's not Cristiano, it's the coach, the other players, Maguire. People talked a lot about captaincy, but Ronaldo was very keen. He came out this week after the Atletico draw, and he says he wants to play until he's 40. He's not retiring now. And I was very happy when Sancho came out to say that actually Cristiano has had a lot of impact this season in some of the young players, and the way he was turned to be playing along the GOAT, all that stuff, which is very good, because I think the young players have a lot to learn from him. He has a lot of experience, a lot that he can give players, and you can see the improvement that Jadon Sancho has had. 4 months ago he was being benched. Ole Gunnar was barely playing him, but today Sancho is one of our best players, and I think in the first 11 sheet is there together with the gears, the first players to be in the lineup. So it's good for him to come out and speak about that, and Ronaldo also coming out to say, that we can really do better and to do better. But we still have concerns within the team. You saw how Maguire played in the Champions League. And I remember when I was previewing this game, I told people that Joe Felix is the man to stop, because that boy can find a pass, he can find a header, he can put a tackle, he will dribble, he can do almost everything in the midfield. And sometimes I say I wish he was playing for Man United, because he's a very outstanding player. He's a very, very good player. Now, I really hope if Pogba goes, we would go, break the bank for him. He's a very good player and equally very young. But you could still see the problems in the team, from the fullback, from the midfield, from the attack. That cohesion is still not really working out so well for Rangnick, even though we've really tried to improve. Rangnick has only lost, I think, 2 games. The one against Wolves and the one at the penalty shootout against Middlesbrough. So you can't really blame him so much. He has found a way to get a result, because against Atletico it was going to be very hard. And those are some of the things that we need to really develop as United team, in that even the worst day when we are not playing well, we should be able to push for a result, for a positive result, even when we are not playing well, And that reminds me, today's game against Watford is a must-win game. The race for top 4 is becoming it's taking shape, let me say like that. You see Tottenham drop points. Currently, I think Arsenal has more advantage in the race for top 4 more than any other club, because they sit 1 point below us and they have 2 games at hand. I assume they play the 2 games. Arsenal will be having around 51 points. That is if they win the games. I'm not saying they're going to win the game, but if they were to win the 2 games, then they will be above us with almost 5 points. So I believe they have the upper hand in this race. But of course, we are not out of the race. Definitely we are not out of the race. We are going to do our best in the race as well. But we need to win. We need to win today. We need to win our next 5, 4, 6 games without really dropping points, which is going to be tough, because after the Watford game, we have the likes of Man City, the likes of, Tottenham. Will be playing, I think, against Tottenham as well. So they are tough games that we are not sure whether we will get the points. So today's game is very critical, and it's critical that we get the 3 points today. Of course, Watford beat us the last time. Remember the last game for Laguna Solskjaer, 4-1. We were 1-1 until the last 10 minutes. They scored 3 goals. I still can't believe Watford beat us 4. But of course, in today's match, I think we have a very good chance of beating Watford. And they also played on Wednesday night against Crystal Palace, where they were really completely battered 4-1. Why should we not beat them at Old Trafford today? But it will be interesting to see how Rangnick, of course, sets up his team, because I believe from the notes he could take at midweek, Matic has to come back in the team and play. I would be more than happy if Maguire is dropped, because Maguire I don't think that guy deserves to be playing for Manchester United. So I would want him to be dropped. I would want Dalot to come back at the right back, Varane and Lindelof to play at the centre back, and Telles to play at the left back, because I think Luke Shaw also is not performing. And then in the midfield, I would wish for Matic to be brought back. Probably play alongside whether it's either Fred or Pogba, and definitely I believe Elanga is going to start on the right wing. Rashford should start on the bench, should not be in the first 11, and then have Bruno, Ronaldo and Sancho. Of course, Cavani is still injured, McTominay is still out also with illness. So that's how I would want this team to play. But of course, I'm hoping we gel together. The game today is a must win for us, and United has to do a lot to win. Now, one last thing that I wanted to talk about. I think it was really a good move for Man United to suspend their or to terminate their contract with the Russian airline, because what is going on is not really good for everyone. And it's good. It's a good move for Man United because it shows where they stand and their opinion about this war going on between Russia and Ukraine. And that's the match I can talk about right now. So you guys enjoy the game today, and please subscribe to our channel, follow us. We'll have more and more to talk about after the game. Thank you, and thank you for watching.